Hello, and welcome to Sambhav 2021 Masterclass on simplifying artificial intelligence and machine learning for small and medium sized businesses. My name is BK Chaurasia. I lead a team of solution architects at Amazon India. In my professional career, I have helped many customers in using AI and ML technologies for their businesses. I'm here with Gopal today.
Thank you, BK. So I'm Gopalakrishnan. I'm a solutions architect at Amazon Internet Service Private Limited. I work for the small and medium business segment. In my career of 20 years in technology, I have helped various companies achieve digital transformation using disruptive technologies. At AWS, I help customers of all sizes build and succeed on AWS by helping them designing, architecture, and thought leadership.
Thanks, Gopal. Now, for many of our customers who believe that AI and ML technologies are either out of their reach, too complex, or too costly to use, we would like to break this myth today and explain that it is rather very easy to use these technologies for your businesses. So, in today's discussion, we'll start with fundamentals of AI and ML technologies. We'll dive deep into how these technologies are changing the way businesses works. What are the common AI and ML use cases for SMBs? Why you should consider using AI and ML? And finally, how Amazon Web Services can help you all the way from getting started to the finish line. As we are talking, if you get curious and have any questions for us, please feel free to type those in chat window and we'll be happy to answer for you. So Gopal, let's kick it off with some fundamentals. Let's talk first about what is artificial intelligence, what is machine learnings, how these technologies work.
That's a great question, BK. You must have heard of these different definitions from various sources. Let us take a step back and see and define what they are. Artificial intelligence is used to describe systems that replicate tasks that traditionally require human intelligence and judgment. Now, these could be probabilistic predictions, classifications, or making complex decisions with a high degree of certainty, which mimic human judgment and intelligence. Now, machine learning, on the other hand, is the technology that powers artificial intelligence. It confers upon system the ability to learn and improve itself without specifically being programmed. It consumes a large amount of data to create a decision logic, which is actually called a model. The AI system feeds data into this model, and this model in turn outputs classifications, predictions, etc. The thing to remember, BK, is that AI systems can be created without machine learning. But currently, machine learning is the most predominant form of creating AI systems. Deep learning, on the other hand, is actually a class of machine learning model in which multiple layers of neurons are stacked together. These neurons are nothing but small pieces of programs or transformation logics. They take the raw input and progressively convert it into higher level outputs. This is extensively used in image and sound recognition and voice recognition.
Sounds good, Gopal. So seems like is the ability for machine to mimic the human behavior, such as either listening or watching, and then taking some action based upon that. So that's clear
Exactly.
now. But let's also talk about why small and medium sized businesses should think about it. What are the benefits they're going to get when they use these technologies? And what if they don't think about it? What if they don't adopt it?
So, BK, machine learning has moved from an aspirational technology to mainstream very fast. Till now, it was confined to a very few tech savvy companies or hardcore academic researchers. But with the advent of cloud computing, all that changed. With the availability of more compute resources, storage, analytics, and the explosion in the amount of data, meant that this technology started making inroads into almost different all kinds of companies. It started moving from the periphery into the core of almost every industry like finance, retail, e-commerce, you name it. There is no doubt that machine learning can do more for every company. When deployed with the right strategies, it can increase efficiencies, reduce costs, streamline processes, lead to quicker decisions, and also boost revenues by creating new products or enhancing existing products. 54% of the companies surveyed said that machine learning definitely enhanced productivity in the organization. Now, IDC predicts that this year itself in 2021, the spend on machine learning and cognitive technologies is going to exceed $50 billion. A lot of companies are are using machine learning to gain a competitive advantage, and a lot of others are trying to use it to close the gap and to catch up with their rivals. Although machine learning has been there for decades, its accessibility as a tool to transform business has been lacking till now. Absent a clear path to machine learning success has kept a lot of companies on the sidelines and prevented them from taking the first step.
Thanks, Gopal. So I think the question is not whether or not SMB should consider it. I think the question is how soon they should consider it. I think you have demonstrated that large number of benefit in terms of, you know, cost advantages, the performance advantages. It is important for the customers to be relevant in their business and, be competitive in their business. And I think these technologies can really help them out. So that sounds good. But talk to me a little bit more about it. How artificial intelligence and machine learning applies to industries in general, and also give me some examples how Amazon can help in this area.
So let me tell you why SMBs would like to choose Amazon for their machine learning services. First, we provide the broadest and deepest set of machine learning services. We are unmatched in the breadth and depth of services we provide. In the last year itself, we released about 250 new features, services, and enhancements. Think of what that means, BK. Developers can wake up every day with new features at their fingertips. Secondly, we accelerate the adoption of machine learning using SageMaker. Amazon SageMaker is a service that helps developers and data scientists build, train, tune, deploy machine learning models at scale. The thing big is that before SageMaker, doing machine learning was very hard, but making machine learning easier and at low cost, AWS is helping customers leverage the data, which is both valuable as well as differentiating. Not only do we provide these tools and technologies, we also provide a series of training and acceleration programs for you to get started on your machine learning journey. Thirdly, with AWS, you get a very comprehensive platform which is optimized for machine learning. So as you know, TensorFlow is a very awesome and popular framework. And if you see 85% of the TensorFlow workloads run on AWS. And in AWS, we have a team that does nothing else but just optimize the TensorFlow workloads. And believe me, they are doing a lot of innovation. And lastly, you get a comprehensive set of technologies like security, fully featured data lakes, data storage, etc., that are required in all the layers of machine learning model. And no other cloud provider provides these comprehensive set of technologies that are used for machine learning as AWS does, which is why we have hundreds of thousands of customers using machine learning, which is twice as much as the next largest cloud provider has.
That sounds good. I believe Gartner has also recognized AWS as a leader in the Magic Quadrant for Cloud AI Developers Services. So that's awesome to know. I think you talked about some of the services you mentioned about SageMaker, and it's an interesting service for SMB customers to use. Train models, host models, and take benefits of those models using machine learning in Amazon. But walk me through walk me through the entire machine learning capability that Amazon provides, and why should SMB consider, which one of those should SMBs consider?
Right, BK. So AWS has been innovating on behalf of their customers in providing a lot of services for all levels of expertise. We have been investing in all layers of the machine learning stack that I'm going to talk about to remove undifferentiated heavy lifting so that your teams can move faster. A lot of these services can be applied across a spectrum of industries, but we've also been hearing from customers about the need for an industry specific solution. So we've also been investing in solutions, machine learning solutions that are specific to various industries. Now, if you look at the stack, BK, at the top level of the stack, we have services which can help you add intelligence to your applications with little to no ML skills. Now, this could be like personalizing your customer experience, forecasting your business metrics, transcribing speeds, deciphering documents, etc. In the middle layer, we have SageMaker. And as I said, SageMaker is a service that helps developers and data scientists build, tune, train, deploy machine learning models at scale. Companies who have used SageMaker have reported a productivity increase of almost 10 times. At the bottom layer, you can have expert ML practitioners build their own models using the framework of their choice, either using the managed experience of SageMaker, or they can use Amazon deep learning AMIs, which come pre-configured with the popular and latest versions of the deep learning tools and frameworks.
All right, Gopal. So that sounds interesting. Seems like Amazon is providing the capabilities to those who want to build, who want to start with the frameworks such as TensorFlow, MXNet, PyTorch, etc., and build their own machine learning models, train them, and host them. Or if they want to automate this entire workflow, they can use SageMaker. And but for the customers who don't know anything about machine learning yet, and probably they don't want to invest building in the models, they just want to simply consume the APIs from a service that's built in. I think they can use services like Amazon Comprehend, Amazon Recognition, or TextRec, and so on. Is my understanding correct, Gopal?
It's exactly right, BK. So we provide services for all levels of expertise and make machine learning easier so all kinds of companies can adopt it and find success.
Very good. Sounds cool. So, can you also walk me through the common machine learning use cases that we have enabled? Maybe share some examples from from a few different industry verticals.
As you can see, our machine learning platform has been used by hundreds of thousands of customers across various industries and has been applied across a spectrum of use cases. So if you see, machine learning can be applied to a number of scenarios. You can increase productivity by finding the right and accurate information using machine learning. You can customize your customer experience. You can enhance your customer experience using various machine learning models called personalization, which can go a long way in enhancing and personalizing their experience. We have a set of services which can use ML techniques like optical character recognition or natural language processing to extract meaning out of text documents and increase your productivity.
I think you talked about personalization, Gopal. I just wanted to share one examples with our customers in here. So those who have shopped at Amazon.com, you would probably know, you would have noticed that depending upon what you search and what kind of products have you consumed and bought on Amazon earlier, it gives you recommendations similar to what you are potentially going to order next, right? So that's a really great example of using machine learning technologies for making recommendations, personalized recommendations to your customers.
That is right, BK. You're spot on. We also have a machine learning being used in media services to recognize images, to identify video, etc. And we also have customers using machine learning in their contact center to improve their customer experience. And we also use machine learning for businesses to forecast metrics and make predictions to do inventory optimization and forecast demand, etc., to fulfill the customer commitments on cost and delivering products on time.
It is actually really important for the small and medium sized businesses to optimize the inventory, for example, right? The If you have excess inventory, that costs you a lot. If you don't have enough inventory, then you are losing on customer experience somehow. So I think machine learning can help you in optimizing the right amount that you really need to keep in your inventory.
Exactly, BK. These are just some of the use cases I cited, but it can be used in many more scenarios.
All right, Gopal. Now let's go specific to some of the industry segments and talk about a few specific use cases for those industries. Let's start with manufacturing vertical. Amazon seems to have quite a few of innovation offerings for manufacturing customers and have done extensive work in the area of smart or connected factories. How does artificial intelligence and machine learning technologies help there? Can you please share a few interesting offerings and use cases there?
So, BK, as I said before, a lot of our services can be used across a host of different industries. But we've been listening to our customers about the need for industry specific solutions, and that's why we've been investing a lot. For companies in the agricultural, energy, industrial, and heavy machinery segment, we provide a list of services that can increase efficiency, increase throughput, reduce cost for them. For processes or locations that have intermittent or bad connectivity or which can't afford a round trip to the cloud, we provide something called AWS Panorama SDK, which is a lightweight, low-cost SDK that can run on your cheap smart cameras and run and optimize sophisticated computer vision models. For locations which already have dumb cameras installed, we provide AWS Panorama Appliance, which is a powerful edge computing device optimized for running computer vision models. Amazon Monitron is an end-to-end predictive maintenance solutions, which has an equipment which will detect temperatures and monitors of these equipments, and it also has an app which will help you gain visibility into the health of the equipments, and it also provides notifications and alerts on potential equipment failures. Amazon Lookout for Equipment provides predictive maintenance solutions for equipment which already have a sensors in them, which already has a sensor installed in them. Similarly, Amazon Lookout for Vision is an end-to-end solution that detects quality problems in manufacturing lines. It learns what a baseline image of the product is, for example, features of a silicon wafer, in as low as 30 images. And then it provides alerts or notifications for images or frames of video which differ from the baseline, thus giving you a heads up through alerts and notifications about any quality problems that might be upcoming in your manufacturing line.
That sounds interesting, Gopal. Seems like for the industrial use cases, collecting this data from the field devices are really important, right? Because only when you collect this data, you can take some actions based upon how you analyze and process this data. And that's the basis for smart factories.
Exactly. And all of these devices, they need little to no ML skills to kind of install and integrate into your processes.
Let's also talk about how these machine learning technologies can help with financial institutions, so such as banks, the brokerage houses, trading platforms, and maybe marketplaces. What are the different use cases you have seen in machine learning and artificial intelligence here where we can help these customers?
So because there are many different use cases that machine learning can be applied in the financial industry. For example, they can identify payment fraud and provide protection to both users and merchants. They can detect market anomalies and behavioral anomalies also in the market. They can be used for identity verification, for example, to smoothen the customer onboarding process, or they can also be used to streamline the KYC process.
This is particularly important, right? Since India is on the mission to digitizing businesses, right? Especially the small and medium sized businesses, right? Everybody wants to take payments on digital ways, right? For example, on the smartphones through using a barcode. So this becomes really important for customers to be able to accept that and also be able to minimize or actually prevent the fraud happening.
Exactly. It is exactly applicable to the scenario that we are seeing currently with the large adoption of online payment. And apart from that, we also, the ML techniques like optical character recognition and natural language processing that can be used to extract information from documents, which can help you in your due diligence and document verification process.
Yes, I believe TextRact can actually extract the information from any document, any pictures, right? Even in a subset of that picture, right? So this can be particularly handy for the use cases where you are, say, for example, processing a loan, and you want to extract the information of the loan applicant on the fly, right? And then extracting information like address, Aadhaar number, and so on.
Exactly, exactly. And apart from that, BK, so we also have machine learning can also provide pricing and product recommendations in the financial industry. For example, in the last reinvent, Vanguard, the investment company, demonstrated how they use information like investment goals, demographics, etc., to create a personalized investment portfolio for a user. Similarly, there are many use cases in trading and analytics. So machine learning can analyze alternative data sets. For example, it can look at satellite imagery and predict crop yields. It can look at the parking garage of a department store and predict the quarterly sales, or it can even predict the stock loan rates in trading. Another interesting use case, because you might have come across, is, for example, about 15 years ago, you would have had to fill like tons of forms, and it might take a couple of weeks for you to open a bank account. But with the advent of machine learning, you just have to take a picture of yourself and a picture of your identity documents and have to upload it. In the backend, the machine learning system, it does facial recognition to verify your identity, and extract information from your documents. In order to open your bank account, probably you can do that in a couple of hours.
That sounds really interesting, Gopal. And also in the case of customer support, I've seen lots of businesses are now using intelligent voice bots for responding to the customer queries, right? For example, when somebody calls for customer support, and you acknowledge that caller with the name, and also mention that I know that you have called before for XYZ problem, and are you calling about the same or a different issue today? That makes it whole different experience for the customer.
Exactly. We can personalize this customer touch point through web, voice, or chat.
Yeah. And I guess we can also record these customer conversations, convert this into the format of a text, and then analyze this information for providing some better insights, like how my business is. We can also do some sentiment analysis, for example. Are the customers happy with this product or not? What kind of feedback they are sharing with this? So this can be a game changer for the customer support scenarios.
Precisely.
Awesome. Okay, Gopal. Let's take one more industry vertical in here for the benefit of the healthcare and life science audiences here. What are the key use cases that machine learning and artificial intelligence enables?
So machine learning can add a lot of value to healthcare customers. For example, it can analyze the tons of documentation that they have that they go through on a daily basis. It can improve the patient. It can improve personalized patient care. It can help customers comply with PHI regulations and more. Right? For example, when it comes to personal care, it's all about deciphering a lot of information that is locked in textual format. For example, in hospital admission notes, clinical, history of the patient, etc. So it is about deriving meaning out of these documents and improving personal care.
And I think services like Comprehend Medical can actually even understand complex medical terminology and extract that information from the conversation between a patient and a doctor, and then be able to analyze that information later.
Exactly. As a matter of fact, Beth Meekornes Medical Center is one of our customers who is using Amazon SageMaker to optimize the scheduling of its 41 operating rooms and matching with the patient flow. And as you said, it is also using Amazon Comprehend in order to derive information, textual information, and derive meaning out of a lot of documentation that it has with regards to admission, hospital admission notes, and patient history.
That sounds really interesting, Gopal. Now, we talked about various different industry use cases, Gopal, for smart, all the way from smart factories to utilizing AI and ML into healthcare, life sciences, and financial domain. We have a large number of customers listening and watching to this conversation. They are curious. They have these existing applications, product and services for their businesses, and they are curious how they can. Some of them may be able to deploy some data scientists and have some expertise on machine learning who can build and train their models, but most of them may not be, right? So I'm just curious on behalf of these customers and audience here, how they can get started utilizing services from Amazon and be able to get the benefit of machine learning and artificial intelligence right away without spending a lot of effort. So talk to me some of the things where they can get started and then start utilizing this benefit immediately.
So your question is spot on, BK. So AWS does provide a lot of services which can help you add intelligence to your application with very little or no ML skills. Most of them can be accessed as an API call instead of developing your own models. Right? To name some of them, for example, Amazon HealthLake provides insurance providers, healthcare providers, hospitals the ability to store and analyze petabyte scale storage and data. Similarly, we have services like Textract, which will help you, which will use NLP as well as optical character recognition to extract meaning out of textual data. Similarly, we have Poly, which will convert text to speech, and Transcribe, which will convert speech into text, or even Translate, which will convert speech from one language into another. Similarly, we have very powerful services like Amazon Kendra, which kind of puts enterprise search on steroids.
That sounds cool. So if I'm a manufacturing customer producing certain artifacts in my manufacturing facility, and if I want to use computer vision to identify the quality of my output, I can use recognition to find the odd items out, like the defective items out, right? This could
Precisely. Yeah, you got it, BK.
right. And then similarly, I can also train models in the recognition to customize my specific use case. So not just identifying, but also training recognition for my specific industry output.
Exactly. And talking about manufacturing, we already talked about Panorama Appliance, SDK, as well as Monitron, Lookout for Vision, Lookout for Equipment, which can be integrated easily into your manufacturing process with almost no ML skills.
Very good. And looks like for services like Amazon Personalized and Amazon Forecast, I can get started with making a personalized recommendations or forecasting the orders or inventory without training a specific model for my business. Maybe I can start with this service and be able to customize, and I will be able to customize these models for my need.
That's correct, BK. So a lot of these come with as pre-trained models, but they also give you the flexibility to tweak them as per your business needs.
That sounds awesome, Gopal. I would also like to add about recognition. So there's a lot of different computer vision use cases that's enabled by recognition. For example, you can identify faces from the videos and pictures. You can do the object detection. You can probably do counting these objects from the scenes. So, for example, for manufacturing industry use cases, you may want to count the objects as you produce output. You may want to identify the defective objects as you produce those in your facilities. You can also use recognition to do the facial analysis of a person, whether the person is happy or not. So this could be helpful in customer sentiment analysis if you are using the feed from the videos. So lots of interesting use cases.
That's spot on, Beak. And talking about manufacturing industrial sector, we have already talked about a host of services like Amazon Monitron, Lookout for Vision, Lookout for Equipment, which can be easily integrated into your processes with no ML skills.
And I've also seen many customers using chatbots for their e-commerce platform. So for their websites, for those who are selling products online, they use chatbots enabled by Lex for interacting with the customers and taking either the orders or the feedback directly on their website.
That's right, BK. Yes, you can customize your customer touch points using web, voice, or chat using these machine learning services.
Awesome. Let's talk about some of the examples that we have seen from our customers. So I'll start with an example from Freshworks with our audiences here. So Freshworks has built an automatic ticket management application which detects if a user has raised multiple support tickets for a similar issue in a short period of time, and it groups those tickets into a single ticket. The duplication of effort is eliminated this way by the applications. It has driven the responses uh, and supported the agents to solve the customer issues much more quicker and reduce the time they spend on a particular ticket by more than 50%. Has been a really game changer experience for them. What are the other use cases have you seen, Gopal?
So we have seen a number of use cases across various industries, BK. To name some of them, so Bachpan Bachao Andolan is, for example, a foundation which is focused on children's rights. So as you know, the sad fact is about 180 children go missing in India every day. So along with Capgemini, they created an app which will help trace and reunite these kids. So with the help of this app, users can upload the pictures of these kids. Amazon recognition is then used to identify to match these pictures up with its own repository and send out alerts or notifications if a match is found. Redbus is an online bus ticketing system which has more than 5 million customers across the world, and it operates in countries like India, Singapore, Indonesia, Colombia, and Peru. It is used by bus passengers as well as bus operators. The bus passengers use it to identify the best route to the destinations. So bus operators use the data it provides to enhance the passengers' experience in their buses. So they recently incorporated a feature of collecting feedback from their customers using dynamic tagging. So what this means is when the users provide their feedback, it automatically SageMaker automatically suggests tags based on what other users have suggested along the same routes. So using this, they were able to streamline feedback collection, aggregate them, and act upon them and enhance the customer experience. After having implemented the solution in SageMaker, they were able to improve their online bus ticketing by about 5%.
That sounds awesome, Gopal. And there are many other use cases, especially since we are dealing with these COVID pandemic these days. There are many businesses who have enabled the delivery of items straight to the consumers using our platform. So things like optimizing the route for the delivery of this particular item. So there are many use cases. We have one on the slide in here from a company called Delivery that use Amazon SageMaker, which help delivering the automated proof of delivery verification, and it reduced the manual effort by about 60%.
That's correct, BK. So Delivery is an Indian supply chain services provider, and they had a need to extract information out of the proof of delivery document. So having established their models in SageMaker, their inference and training models on SageMaker, and using TensorFlow and Keras as their platform, they were able to do this with 85% accuracy and thus bring down the cost and increase efficiency.
Excellent, Gopal. Now we talk about various different use cases from different industries. I'm also curious on behalf of the audiences here. Let's share some of the examples that Amazon has used in this area, right? I'm sure Amazon has used machine learning and artificial intelligence extensively. So can you share some examples from what has already been used by Amazon and what's coming up in terms of innovation in this particular area?
That's a great question, BK. So Amazon has been using machine learning for over 20 years, and it is an integral part of us. It has been using machine learning in areas such as personalizing the customer experience, or in the fulfillment centers. For example, we use machine learning extensively in our fulfillment centers to forecast the demand of all our products so that we can fulfill a customer commitment on cost, speed of delivery, and convenience. We also use machine learning in natural language processing that powers Alexa, which provides users with unique and new ways of connecting with technology. We also use machine learning in groundbreaking technologies like autonomous pilots via Prime Drone Air, or robotics in our fulfillment centers to deliver packages to our customers at speed.
Thanks, Gopal. And funny enough, as soon as you say Alexa, my Alexa device has just woke up and it started saying something. So you would have heard that as you were talking. So sorry for that, but I think it was cool. Okay, great. And I'm also curious and waiting for the day when my package will be delivered by a drone straight to my backyard using the drone delivery from Amazon.
You're going to have it very soon, BK.
Very cool. Okay, so this sounds good, Gopal. There is more machine learning happening at Amazon than any other platform in the world. Now, since I understand it, and most of my audiences, I think the question that comes into my mind is how can the customers get started right away, especially if they don't have artificial intelligence or machine learning skills in the house?
And so AWS provides a lot of training and enablement programs for your teams to get started on your journey to machine learning. For your technology and business staff, we have in-person classes through a program called AWS ML Embark. There are also free online and certification courses for your developers. Apart from that, we have a portfolio of deep devices, Deep Racer, Deep Composer, Deep Lens, which provides a fun and engaging way for your team to learn machine learning and get up to speed. Apart from that, we also conduct workshops where we identify use cases for your organizations, and we work closely with your team to create a proof of concepts using a program called ML Solutions Lab. And
Yeah.
lastly, if you want to take this to production, you can work with the professional services and or our partners who can do end-to-end development and take these workloads to production.
Yes, right, Gopal. So, for some of the customers who are about to start their machine learning journey, we have teams like, as you mentioned, training team, we have data labs team. We also have a team that can help you building the prototypes for you and showing you the art of possible. So, bring your use cases to Amazon, and we can help you enable using machine learning technologies and showing you how it's done with these technologies. So we can actually enable your use cases and then help you also scale out in the production once you are satisfied with those use cases and with the build. Okay, Gopal, this was interesting. AWS offers the broadest and deepest set of machine learning services and supporting cloud infrastructure, putting machine learning in the hands of every developer, data scientist, expert practitioners, and even those who know nothing about machine learning. You can quickly add intelligence into your products, services, and applications without needing machine learning expertise, using pre trained AI services to do things such as create more intelligent contact centers, detect frauds, improve demand forecasting, personalize consumer experience, and many more. It's not exaggeration to say that cloud computing has enabled various businesses, small, medium, large, or any size, to achieve a new level of success, and machine learning has reached a similar moment now. Until recently, it was only accessible to a few big technology firms and cool startups that had the resources needed to hire experts to build sophisticated machine learning models. Not the case anymore. You have the freedom to invent, reap the benefit of revolutionary technologies that Amazon enables. And it also allows you to experiment, fail fast, and limitless possibilities. With Amazon, you can really unlock the benefit of machine learning. This was BK and Gopal from Amazon Web Services. Hope you had good time watching the session. We are excited to team up with you for your own machine learning use cases and listening from you on how we can help you innovate using AI ML technologies. Please fill in the feedback form below and let us know what you liked or what you did not like in this session. We wish to keep getting better and growing together. If you have any questions, put them in the box below and we shall get back to you. Thanks for joining. Namaste.